Mallory, there's one last thing to do today, and that is to unveil the Week 10 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press Texas High School Football State Rankings. Dave Campbell's Texas Football has for decades put out the state's most respected rankings, and we are the official rankings provider of the Associated Press. When people, I guess this is like important to say, because every podcast is somebody's first. Mm-hmm. These are like the rankings. Like
the official
rankings of Texas high school football. Like when people say, "Oh, that's the number 10 team in the state," they're talking about our rankings, right? So this is the Week 10 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press statewide Texas high school football rankings. Let's start in the largest classification, Mallory, and that would be Class 6A. Little bit of movement here because of a couple of changes. Specifically, number 22, Katie Jordan loses to Katie Taylor in a game that has major implications for number 8, Katie. And so they drop out of the rankings. As a result, we did a little bit of reshuffling. Also, Dripping Springs' win over Lake Travis. We had to adjust for all of that. Here's what we did. Byron Nelson vaults to number 11 with their win over Keller Central. That sets up a big game between number 11 Byron Nelson and number 6 Southlake Carroll coming up this week. Houston Lamar, Dickinson, Willis, and Pflugerville Weiss all nudge up a spot from to number 13 through 16 respectively. Back into the rankings after, I believe, a 1-week hiatus. Dripping Springs, who vaults all the way to number 17 with their dominant win over Lake Travis. Very impressive. Lake Travis falls from number 11 to number 22 with the loss. Everyone else is exactly the same. The top 10 of the Texas high school football rankings are unchanged. Duncanville, North Shore, DeSoto, Westlake, Vandergrift, Southlake Carroll, Humble Atascocita, Katy, North Crowley, and Humble Summer Creek. To 5A we go, Mallory, where I hope you like chalk, because that's what you're getting served. Everyone was a winner. I believe literally the 5... Actually, this is true. And boy, I need to find the last time this happened. The 20 teams who are ranked in Class 5A went 20-0.
Really?
Now, they went 20-0. There were no open dates. They all went 20-0. It's been a minute since that's happened. Normally you got a random bye week thrown in there or something like that. There were a couple of struggles. Alito got a push from Denton Ryan.
Was a little scared.
They were on the brink there, but sets up a couple of huge games, including Mansfield Timberview against unbeaten Richland. Keep an eye on that one. That game is huge this week. So we are all chalky there in Week 5, or rather Class 5A in Week 10 of the Texas High Football rankings. The same cannot be said for 4A. Let's go to 4A, Mallory, where we got a big shakeup in 4A Division 1. It all comes down to Stephenville's win over China Spring, which you were in attendance for.
Yep.
Stephenville gets the win over China Spring, and as a result, that drops China Spring from number 4 to number 9 in our rankings. Everyone kind of nudges up a spot. Kilgore up to number 4, Iowa Colony up to number 5 ahead of their big game this week against Bay City. Stephenville, with their win, nudges up to number 6. Brownwood right behind them at number 7. Chapel Hill nudges up a spot to number 8. We mentioned China Spring there. And back into the rankings, Bay City, who will get a shot at Iowa Colony coming up this week in a top 10 matchup. Number 9, Needville crashes out of their rankings with their loss to the aforementioned Bay City. On the 4A Division 2 side, Silsbee beats Hampshire Finette 39-21. We debated this, and we dropped Hampshire Finette 1 spot to number 8. We still believe that they are a legit contender there in Region 3. I think that might be the first of 2 meetings, perhaps. But as a result, they drop from number 7 to number 8, up switching spots with number 7 Monahans, who got a big win over Fabens. They are the new number 7 team in the state. Top 5 unchanged: Carthage, Silsbee, Pleasant Grove, Cuero, and Wimberley. By the way, Carthage and Van this week. Big week. To 3A we go, where, okay, let's just throw it all into a wood chipper in 3A. Franklin's loss to Lorena means we got to do some major restructuring.
Yeah.
The new number 1 team in 3A Division 1, I think to the surprise of nobody, is the Columbus Cardinals.
Yep. Agreed.
Columbus rises to number 1 with the 9-0 with their win over Yoakum. Malakoff nudges up to number 2. Winsboro up to number 3. Brock with their win over Paradise. Very nice win over Paradise.
Big win, yeah.
They move up to number 4. And Bushland now top 5, a win over Shallow Water. Hitchcock now up to number 6. Into the rankings, the Lorena Leopards at 7-2. Their win over Franklin certainly has to be reckoned with, and they have gotten hot at the right time. Franklin drops from number 1 to number 8. Paradise's loss to Brock drops them from number 5 to number 10. We still think that they're a top 10 team, but we're hanging on there at number 10. Clyde moves up a spot to number 9 as well. Out of the rankings, Edna, who crashes out of the rankings with their loss. They are out of the rankings, which another reason for the entire reshuffling there in 3A Division 1. 3A Division 2 wasn't a whole lot better, especially at the bottom. The top 6 are unchanged, or top 5 are unchanged. Gunner, Canadian, Tidehaven, Hooks, and Newton, all winners this week. But number 6, Troop loses to, I believe, to ARP. Is that right? That feels right. Maybe not. West Rusk. Lost to West Rusk. That's right. And then Littlefield. Littlefield's loss. They crash out of the rankings as well. Poth moves up a spot to number 6. Holiday moves up a spot to number 7. Dangerfield up 2 spots to number 8. And back into the rankings, the number 9 Wall Hawks, big winners over St. Angelo TLC. And new to the rankings, the Tigers of Jacksboro at 8-0 cracked the top 10 in 3A Division 2 with a big win over Merkel, 78-13. They are now 8-0 on the year. To 2A we go. And this is a tale of 2 divisions. 2A Division 1, nothing to see here. Everyone's a winner. The top 10 went 10-0. Top 5 remain unchanged. Timpson, Refugio, Toller, Stratford, and Cooper got a nice win over previously unbeaten Honeygrove, 34-21. 2A Division 2 is different. Top 3 unchanged. Albany, Martin, Newhome. But number 4, Chilton loses on a last-second field goal to Granger. We dropped them from number 4 to number 8. As a result, also, number 6, Sunray, crashes out of the rankings with their 1-point loss to Groover. We got to do some kind of reconstructive surgery here. Number 4, new number 4 team is Collinsville. Nudging up 2 spots is Lovelady to number 5. Wellington up to number 6. Wink up to number 7. We mentioned Chilton at 8. Seymour up a spot to number 9. And new to the rankings, the Groover Greyhounds, 7-2, got a signature win over Sunray to grab that number 10 spot. So 2A Division 2 gets a little bit of a makeover as well. To 6-man football we go, where 1A has nothing to see here. Everyone was a winner or they were idle. Top 5 in 1A Division 1 remains the same. Gordon, Knox City, Abbott, Westbrook, and Jonesboro. Top 5 in 1A Division 2 remains the same. Benjamin, Oglesby, Jayton, Richland Springs, and Klondike. And in the private school ranks, Mallory, also nothing to see here. These 10 teams win a combined 10-0. 11-man, it's Houston St. Thomas, Dallas Christian, Austin Regions, Argyle Liberty Christian, and Bel Air Episcopal, all winners. And the private school ranks, Pasadena First Baptist, Fort Worth Covenant Classical, Conroe Covenant, Bastrop Tribe Consolidated, and Houston Emory Weiner, all winners. They stay the same, the top 5 in our private school 6-man rankings. So there they are, the Week 10 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press Texas High School Football Rankings. You can find all the rankings at texasfootball.com/rankings. Like I said, there were a couple places we had to get in the lab. We had to figure out how to sort these teams out.
Yeah, that Franklin loss really shuffled things around.
It does. And it's one of those things where, like I said in Monday Morning Fallout, if you came to me before last week, especially coming off of that win over Hitchcock, and you had said, hey, Columbus is the best team in 3A Division 1.
You'd have been like, no doubt.
I'd be like, yeah, okay, I can see that. I think Franklin deserved to be number 1 because they were the 2-time defending state champs. They had not lost, right? They had not lost. They had not shown any weakness. Mm-hmm. But it was close. And certainly Columbus's resume was up there with them. Now with their loss,
kind of undisputed.
Columbus, I think, the undisputed number 1 team in the state. Although Malakoff right on their heels. Keep an eye on that. Anyway, texasfootball.com/rankings.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on texasfootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to texasfootball.com/subscribe.